Over the 60 years of Manx Radio's broadcasting existence, there have been some extraordinary people in this small island who overcame problems with remarkable determination and courage. Up there, right near the top of the list, Howard Simcocks. Howard was halfway through his accountancy articles in 1939 when he volunteered to enlist in the Manx regiment. He served in the desert and then was blinded in Italy in May 1944.
Well, I engaged in an unsuccessful argument with an anti-tank mine at the casino battle in May of 1944.
Prior to this, you'd wanted to be an accountant, I think, had you?
Yes, I was an article student to Mr. Sugden, the original B. Sugden of the firm which, until very recently, has been in Athol Street for many years.
Mm. And then when you came back out of the war, you had to sort of change your tactics, really.
Well, like a lot of other young men, I hadn't perhaps made the best possible use of my time before the war qualifying. I had half qualified, but my final exam was still outstanding. And having been blinded, the possibility of qualifying as an accountant, much of whose duties are checking figures and things, I just was a non-starter.
Mm.
So I had to change.
What did you do as an alternative?
Well, when I came home, I was fortunate enough to learn that the former Attorney General of the island, Mr. R.B. Moore, having just retired, announced that he was very willing to help any young man who wanted to qualify as an advocate. And I went to see him to ask him if he'd help me, and quite honestly, his attitude was astonishing. Amongst a welter of rather sympathetic soft-heartedness with which I was surrounded at that time,
Yeah.
people who felt very sorry for me but could see no hope of my doing anything, Ramsay Moore took the situation in his stride, and it's due almost entirely to his generous and far-sighted action in putting me under his wing at the time that I was able to qualify as an advocate and get myself into the real world, which is the real problem of a man who found himself in the position I was in. I lost my eyes actually in the explosion, so I live in what people would think total darkness. Actually, of course, I don't. I invent some very high quality scenery for myself.